Good morning, Shavua Tov. Welcome to the Kehillat Shari Torah Halacha Review for Sunday morning, January 3rd. We touched on the laws, actually we went a little bit in depth, in some of the laws of meat and milk, waiting between meat and milk, milk and meat, depending on which direction you're going. We did this in some of our Thinking Jewish and Thornhill classes, but since Rabbi Lebowitz here in his Sefer, halachically speaking, left some space, a chapter actually, to the waiting period between meat and dairy, maybe we'll just review those quickly, just to stay constant, because these two things obviously apply all the time. There are three different places, one coming up in a couple of weeks in Chumash Shemais, another in, actually two places in Shemais, and a third one in Devarim, in the book of Deuteronomy, where the Torah says explicitly one should not cook meat and milk together. Los vashel gedi b'chalevi mos. It says it three times. The sages explain in the Talmud that one verse, why is it there three times? What do we need to be reminded three times? Is it just repeating itself? So they assume that each is coming with a different mission. One of them is to tell us that we're prohibited to cook meat and milk together. A kosher animal being cooked with milk from a kosher animal. The second one prohibits us from eating this mixture. And the third mention of this prohibition forbids us to benefit in any way from such a mixture. The sages decree that one may not eat any dairy product after consuming any type of meat or chicken until 6 hours have elapsed. We're not going into the depth that we did in the shiur, but we're just highlighting the basics of the halacha here. What's the reason? Two reasons are given here. After you eat meat, the taste remains on your palate, in your throat for a long time, so you still have the taste of meat, and if you'll eat milk soon after, so the taste will get blended together. That's what we're supposed to avoid. And secondly, the meat gets stuck between your teeth until 6 hours have elapsed, after which point they're considered digested enough, broken down enough, so that they're inconsequential. Once 6 hours have passed, dairy may be eaten, since any residue left over from the meat has been dissolved, and any remaining meat particles have decomposed and are no longer considered meat. The halacha follows both opinions, sees both of these reasons as legitimate and in force, and one should not be lenient in this. Based on the above, if one chewed the meat but did not swallow it, it says in the text in Shulchan Aruch and Tur, and even the Gemara, somebody used to chew meat for children and then give it to the children to eat. This is before the advent of prepared baby food, obviously. They say one should still not eat dairy before the 6 hours have elapsed, because that makes one quote-unquote fleshik. You have the bits of meat stuck between your teeth. Similarly, if you swallowed meat without chewing, you also have to wait 6 hours for the other reason, that the taste remains. Okay, what about actually tasting something that's not actual meat, but something cooked with meat? One could taste a clear, meaty soup, a fleshik soup, and then spit it out, and does not need to wait before eating dairy. However, one should first rinse the mouth. That's called kinuach and hadacha, the process of rinsing your mouth out to take the taste of the meat liquid out that you sample. If you placed meat in your mouth and didn't chew it, and you ejected it right away, you don't have to wait 6 hours. Here also, one should one should rinse one's mouth before going on to eat dairy. The Rama says that that's the authoritative opinion for Ashkenazim, says that people wait an hour after eating meat before dairy. Those who follow this custom should bench, say the grace after meals, or after a snack, a bracha acharona, but before they eat the dairy, but do not need to rinse their mouths. It's the custom amongst German Jews, mentioned here in Rabbeinu Yerucham, Chachmas Adam, Darchei Tshuva, Badei HaShulchan, half dozen poskim here, have the custom to wait 3 hours. Rav Belsky, whose opinions are frequently quoted in this collection, maintains that one who has this custom should not change the custom to wait 6 hours. Some wait 5 or 5.5 hours. That's also mentioned in a number of places, including Yabia Omer from Rav Ovadia Yosef. The prevailing custom, just so we're clear on this, prevailing custom for most of the Jewish people is to wait 6 complete hours. Aruch HaShulchan says that one should not have the chutzpah to change this custom. Even after the 6 hours, one should still bench, say the after blessing, or after blessing after a snack before going on to eat dairy. If one forgot to say the bracha after the allotted time, you could still eat dairy as long as you've waited 6 hours. 6 hours are measured by complete hours, not incremental or daytime hours, as we usually do with so many things in halacha, taking 1/12 of the time from sunup to sundown. Rather, these are 6 hours on the clock, because it's assumed that the rate of digestion for most of us is more or less constant. Okay, a couple of more points. We'll continue talking about this. Please join us tomorrow. Meantime, have a good day.